Okay, guys, so I did not think I was going to be doing a review on this, but we are finally going to be talking about the Charlie Sheen documentary that's on Netflix right now. The AKA Charlie Sheen. Now, this goes into a lot of Charlie. Again, if you don't know who Charlie Sheen is, I don't want to tell you, either you've been living under a rock or you've just been, like, hey, I don't pay attention. I don't know what to say. But overall, this really went into very big depth. And again, I'm just going to go over a little bit of what was shown in this documentary because it really went into, I would say, his life, people he knows from his older brother to Sean Penn, John Cryer, Chuck Lorre, both of his ex-wives from Denise Richards to Burke Mueller to who else? There was a few others in here. One of his best friends that is not famous. One of his former friends that sold him drugs. There was a lot of stuff in here. Went into when he was a kid. Again, with his father being Martin Sheen, who was a very prominent actor and still is to this day. He, was on the set of Apocalypse Now. He kind of got the bug for it because he was not very good in school. He did admit that. Emilio, his brother, started doing movies, and he's like, "Hey, I want to do that." And he started starring in small roles, and he just started gaining more traction throughout the years. And he started getting very popular, from Platoon to Money Talks to a few other movies that he did. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is where he really got a huge, even though it was a few seconds, he got a big what's the word, discovery, I guess, because of, I guess, the way he could look and the way he acted and things like that. And he admitted that he got on drugs very early. He started drinking, he started partying, went into the whole thing partying with Nicolas Cage, and going into different kinds of drugs, whether it be cocaine, heroin, drinking heavily, weed. There was a lot of things that he was talking about that I already kind of figured, because again, I was introduced to Charlie Sheen when I was young, because I've seen, obviously, Money Talks. I grew up pretty much watching Two and a Half Men, which is one of my favorite comedies. Again, there was some episodes that was great, and there's some that are not. Um, but I remember when he went on the whole crazy streak of winning, so it really went into the whole thing of when it started that he was married to Denise Richards, and then they started having problems. He went off the rails and he did a lot of crazy stuff. He then came back. He then got Brooke Mueller, and then they had two children. And apparently, from what he states and what she states, I guess, and then go into full detail, that incident on Christmas, that it was her that started the drugs, and he participated, and she recanted her statement because she doesn't realize what was real and what wasn't. And then, more things occurred, had him come back. The only one that could really keep him grounded through everything, in all honesty, seemed like to be Denise Richards, and still, like, that is the main woman that keeps him grounded. It is his, former wife. Obviously, I did not know he had 5 children. I knew he had 2 girls by Denise Richards. I knew he had 2 sons by Burt Mueller. That I did know. I did not know he was married one other time and have a child by another woman. I did not know that. And how heavily he was partying during the whole winning, I would say, phase. That's pretty much what I'm gonna call it, is the winning phase. He was taking everything against Chuck Lorre. Again, I have my own issue with Chuck Lorre, but I'm not here to talk about that. Um, and then John Cryer was talking about all the things that he did, from a magazine issue to showing up late, not showing up at all, coming coming on set very intoxicated, high, all these different things. And then finally he got fired and went to that, and then went into how what finally saved him was his daughter, was realizing that he was going to have a time with his daughter. He was too intoxicated to do it. He didn't want to drink and drive, and he had his best friend help him. And then he finally saw, okay, what am I doing? I'm choosing that over my daughter. And I know some people may say, hey, um, it took him this long. And again, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think he just got so addicted to this that he just enjoyed it too much, and he openly admitted to that about drinking in the morning, drinking all day, doing all kinds of drugs all day, and pretty much the one that sold him drugs as a friend of his even said that they had to reduce the drugs to get him off of it. And then also went into the whole thing of him being accused with the Corey Haim situation. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say it happened. I'm not going to sit here and say it didn't happen. Unfortunately, the only one that can actually confirm that, if the man was still here, is Corey Haim. May he rest. Again, the guy was a very young, talented human being, and he was taken too late from us. He battled his own demons for a long time, had a hard life in Hollywood, and it overtook him. And that's the best way to describe it. And then Corey Feldman, what he's been saying, again, they had their issues too between him and Corey Haim. I'm not going to get into that, but again, Charlie did talk about that. Apparently, he's got a book coming out. He's already been on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's been on Good Morning America. He's been on a few other things that I've yet to watch. And it's a lot of information. I mean, it really got into a lot of things of how he got in the scandal, this madam that, was giving him escorts, and how he got with escorts for a long time, with him being positive for HIV. And then also, of course, he openly admitted that while being on drugs and other things, that he tasted the other side of the menu of genders. I'm just going to say that. And I just shook my head. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and judge, but I'm just going to say this. I don't care how high or sober I am. I'm not crossing swords with another man. I'm just going to say that right now. Y'all can say whatever you want in the book. I'm sorry. Do you at the end of the day, but that's just not me. That's not me. Again, I'm not saying I have respect for Charlie. I'm not saying I'm going to demonize Charlie. But again, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does good and bad in this world. And I hope this time he actually stays on the right track. Because I enjoyed Two and a Half Men. I truly did. I really did enjoy Two and a Half Men. I thought it was a great show. I thought it had a lot of comedy. I thought it had a lot of spunk, a lot of spark. And unfortunately, some people debate, hey, it went off the rails even more after Charlie left. It just wasn't as good. It was this, it was that. And again, that's for you to debate. I've watched, episodes after he left that was with, what's his face, but with Ashton Kutcher. But again, I'm not going to sit here and demonize either or other. I'm not going to do that. Because again, at the end of the day, the show's done. It's been gone. The only one that has actually tried to continue his acting career other than Charlie is John Cryer. And unfortunately, the man cannot get away from the character of Alan Harper. He can't. The one played Candy, she did a few things. The one played Judith, I've not really seen her or anything. Same thing with Evelyn. The one that played Berta, unfortunately, she passed away. The one played Herb, he did a few things. The one played Jake, he pretty much just became stupid and threw away his entire fortune that he made when he was a kid. And again, he just became a sellout and a loser and everything, from everything I've seen and heard. And again, the dude was more entertaining as a child than he was when he got older. But again, that's just my opinion. But overall, for the whole Charlie Sheen thing, it really opened my eyes to some things that I did know about Charlie, that I have read and that I have seen on video. But again, this really did open up my eyes to what this man wanted / was going through. And again, some people may say, oh, he was faking, or he was this, or he was that. Again, guys, this is just my opinion. I don't know Charlie Sheen. I don't. Okay? I'm just an average guy that has heard about this human being. Okay? And regardless of whether you like him, whether you hate him, whether you demonize him, whether you praise him, it don't matter. The dude's still here, and he literally did a lot of stuff that I'm surprised that he's still on this earth. That he went and did all these things, and he's still on this earth to talk about it. Because I don't think the average person can do that amount of drugs and still be alive. It amazes me that he was on that amount of stuff and he's still talking to this day. That he is not a vegetable. That he is not in some type of a comatose state. It really amazes me. But again, all I can say is I wish Charlie the best. I hope that he keeps on the right track. I hope that he gets and does whatever he wants in life. And maybe we'll see him in another movie or show that we can all laugh about. You know, that's the best thing we can hope for. So that's my opinion, guys. Take it or leave it, whatever you want to do. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the very next one.